Hi, hello, namaste. You are listening Mix Radio 90.8. Today's episode is going to be truly special because we have incredible guests joining us. Someone who is making a massive impact in the cloud and DevOps space. Joining us today, Mrs. Nancy Ravelia, a cloud and DevOps expert and a DevSecOps specialist. She is an 11x Microsoft Azure certified professional along with multiple certifications across AWS, GCP, GitHub, Oracle, and Salesforce, which clearly reflects her strong expertise in multi-cloud technologies. She has trained over 500 plus professionals globally and leads a vibrant community of 50,000 plus learners through Yatri Cloud. Her work has reached more than 5 million impressions, along with 400k plus YouTube views. She has also delivered training programs for Microsoft and conducted several corporate and academic sections on cloud, DevOps, AI, and GitHub Copilot. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Yes, without further ado,
We'd love to know about your journey. How did you get into this DevSecOps and what inspired you to choose this as your career?
So, when I started my career as a DevOps engineer in Ahmedabad, then I get to know this is the one of the domain that I wanted to learn and something that actually passionate me as much as like a software developer likes to code. The same for me. I like to deploy the website. I like to automate the things, and I like to scale the services. These kind of thing that actually passionate me regarding this cloud and DevOps. And then I started my career as a DevOps engineer, and also I'm good in development too. So Java, Python, these things also I did. And then I learned like, okay, this is the essential thing that we need to learn, DSA and all the system design. And then I go with this DevOps because every issue you are facing as a DevOps engineer, that whenever you can solve that issue you can solve if you are developer then and then. So after that, like DevOps I started, and then security. When I joined my recent company, I got to know that some of the security perspectives are there that you need to learn, and somehow I actually like to do those things. So DevSecOps is the main thing that I am doing right now, and that's a pretty good career also.
That's really great to know, ma'am, about your journey. It's too inspiring, and the steps you have done with sequence is too good, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and the question is, with so many technologies out today is there. So when we are saying that too many, we are getting overwhelming. How do usually we decide which technologies are the best to learn or use for a project, ma'am?
Okay, so if you're starting as a student who actually don't know, you're starting just your career, you should do the basic foundation. Like, as you know, in your first year DSA, and then C++, C programming. At least you know one programming language, you have mastery on it. Secondly, you know the operating system, Linux command. Then you know the DBMS or database management, SQL, MySQL. And then fourth thing, networking. These four subjects are strong, then you can go with any stream, you will succeed. Okay? Any stream. Cloud is little bit like whatever we are learning in the cloud and DevOps thing in our colleges, that are like 70s years back old subjects, honestly. So for the cloud and DevOps, I prefer you should go with some projects. You do some projects, you deploy some website, you troubleshoot some of the issue, you make some issue, you made some mistakes, and then you learn. So any subject or any tech stack you need to do, first learn this four thing that I told you.
Yeah.
Okay, this four basic thing you need to learn. Then you want to go for cloud, go for cloud. You want to become a software development, then learn the APIs, backend things, those kind of stuff. If you wanted to become the data scientist, then go with the data. Then make sure you know the Python language. But you want to become a software developer, okay? Then you need to know some of the frameworks. Node.js also you need to do. Angular you need to do. Or I'll suggest like do the Java first.
Oh.
Java, Spring Boot. a lot of opportunity, and it's a tough language to learn also. So any of the career you wanted to explore, do the basic fundamental thing. Plus I will recommend for those who is actually wanted to like bootstrap their career, you start with the system design. Okay, you know the SDLC life cycle. These are the CAC base concepts. First you clear the basic, you clear the base, that is your phase 1. Then you go with any stream, you will surely succeed.
Okay, ma'am. It's an insightful thing that we got.
Sure, thank you.
Ma'am, many HRs are asking for GitHub profile, ma'am. Till now, we have added few projects and deployed simple websites. What else should we need to add to impress them?
Okay, see, I will tell you the first thing. HR people are not IT people. Okay, they don't know what is this GitHub and all. They just know, okay, GitHub profile is there. Developers and students are adding their projects there, but they don't know this Java. Do they know? No, right? They know this Python? No. They just know the name, but actually what technical things are there, they don't know. They are from non-technical background. So this is something like you wanted to impress a person who actually don't know anything regarding your domain, but you still need to impress that person. Okay, so then how you will do this thing? So of course the people, how they will see your GitHub profile, of course someone will check the Instagram or any stories or any post visibility, right? That is the thing. So how HR will impress, they will just check your GitHub profile, okay, like 40 projects or 13 projects or any projects you have, but you don't have a readme file of your portfolio, that readme.md file for your GitHub. They will just see that readme.md file. Okay, these are the many things like he or she is doing. This is her profile, LinkedIn profile or social media links. This is the actual work she's doing from past this many of years. Okay, your profile, that one file actually made his mind. Yes, like he's not only doing the 50, 60, 70 projects, but he's or she's actually good at showcasing the skills that actually they want.
But what is the real use of GitHub, ma'am, apart from posting projects
Okay,
in it?
so apart from posting the projects, you can make your career in the sense open source codes, open source programs are there. So by using that open source code basis, you can collaborate with other developers. You can make some open source projects. You can work with those people who actually in the top of that industry, like they're in the MNC companies, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, these companies. Okay, so what they are doing, if they have some project, they make it open source. People like us or college students or even the developer, they are just contributing, they're just learning through that open source. Even they're getting paid, you know. So that is the one thing. Even if you're a student or not student, you will get to learn. Second thing, you will also get paid. Third thing, you will also get the job. So that's the thing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I have gone to your profile, ma'am. I think you are a part of Yatri Cloud. So could you please explain what is Yatri Cloud is doing?
Okay, so Yatri Cloud, it's like a community that we started back in 2024 with only one vision, one aim, to help the people like us, whether they are students, whether they are developers, or whether they are switching the jobs, or even if they're just exploring what is this Yatri Cloud. Okay, whatever the people they wanted to learn, they wanted to explore regarding the cloud, DevOps, GitHub, inside the cloud like AWS, Azure. They wanted to do the certifications for free. Okay, because of some cost barriers, we cannot, as a student, we cannot afford. Some job switchers, they also cannot afford. Or a lot of barriers are there. That one thing, that cost of that certification, one certification will cost you, an associate level certification or foundation level certification will cost you $99 to $169 to $300. And if the Kubernetes certifications are there, it will cost you around $400 around. $600. Even if you get the 50% discount, you have to spend 20,000, 40,000 INR on that.
Okay, ma'am.
So that is what we are just availing, like in a multiple way, to giving them the free resources. Even I'm the Udemy instructor, so we are giving completely free resources for that exam preparation through the courses. Even someone will come like, I wanted to do this course from you, I will just give it completely free. We'll give the resources, we'll give the learning material, we'll provide all the detail, and they just get certified. That is the one thing that actually what we faced in some time,
Yeah.
that is what I thought people also facing.
Yeah.
And that's what we just converted into Yatri Cloud community of the people like us. And now it's a very huge community around the globe. So we are not only students, developers, there are many people, they're like switching their careers. Non-technical people like HR, they want to switch in the like technical jobs. So this kind of thing. So it's like only one vision to help the people like us, to help the community.
Yeah, ma'am, that's a wonderful platform I heard now. Yeah.
Ma'am, in recent days, many layoffs are going on, ma'am. Do you think AI will replace the developers someday? Why or why not?
Okay, so it's like very complicated question, but like there is a clarity. Okay, so 10 years back we don't know AI will come. Okay, honestly, today also AI came, and after 10 years, even if I predict like it will take a job, maybe after 10 years something will, not even 10 years, I'll tell you this, let's say 2 to 3 years or max 5 years. So we cannot predict this era, like it will take a job or it will not take a job. But yeah, I can surely tell one thing, something that we were writing in code. Okay, now there is one tool that is writing the best code. Okay, they're writing the best code that we are not able to write. But there is one thing, so AI tool can write the code like among the top 100 developers around the globe, but one thing that they cannot do, that is security. Security breaches are there. Definitely, right? So sometimes these things are actually compromised, and that time human only needed to debug those things, and they only needed to fix those things. So I should suggest like, yeah, so if you're just writing the code, so your future is in danger if you're a software developer. But if you're implementing those security things in your code and developing such a kind of project that actually you did the code from Copilot or any other AI tool like Claude or like Perplexity or any other thing, that you completed your code but you add some security context on it. And we are just talking like AI will replace the job, AI will take the job. But actually in this era, AI engineer and ML engineer, this both the person not only having the high package, but cybersecurity engineer, that is the one evolving new career that will rise in 10 years, surely. Because all the people are using open source code, and this code are like developed by Copilot and or other the AI tools. So somewhere it will break, and somewhere someone will like troubleshoot it and fix it. So that's why I thought like DevOps, DevSecOps, MLOps, the cybersecurity thing, these are the things that will evolve more in future. Sure. Thank you.
One more question is, I'm getting, this is my personal question that I need to ask you, that how to become a trainer. Apart from, there are lots of roles in the software company. Apart from that, as to get trained in the startup company or any reputed company, how to become trainer, ma'am, in that?
Okay. So to become a trainer, first thing you need a passion to teach someone.
Yeah.
Okay. So the person is not getting understanding your concept. You have that passion to teach this topic 10 times, 100 times to that person, so that he or she can able to get those concepts very clearly. Okay. So first thing is passion that you need. Second thing, the clarity, or like how you are teaching a small concepts even. So even if you are teaching a small concepts, so when you are learning those things, you put that thing in any like board or pen or paper, take pen or paper and just write the things, whatever you learn.
Okay.
Whatever the concepts you learn, just put down in just one page. Somehow in just one page you put down. and then you just explain those things to someone else. Okay, so how you are explaining those things, because you know this concept, so sometimes you fastly explain those things, so how you will get better. So that is the second phase to become a trainer. Once you explain, you write down, and then you explain this thing to someone in such a manner that in just one take, in just a one time, that person understanding so like deeply that he or she will never forget in her lifetime.
Okay.
So that is the thing we need to be a trainer. And once you completed these steps now, you automatically know like which company you need to approach. Then you will get to know by LinkedIn or any social media thing, that you get to know, okay, this is the trainer, then you should to like approach those people.
Okay.
Then you can give interview, and even the interview, what they are taking an interview as a trainer. So first thing, the resume, as always. The second thing, your experience and how you are doing. And third thing, they will check how you are teaching.
Yeah.
You have to record a session, you have to take a live session. 2 to 3 rounds will happen with that kind of thing, and that you already cleared in your first phase, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
So to become a trainer, you need to go through these stages, and to improve your communication, to improve your like learning skill, and how to express the concept, how to like teach some concept to everyone. What do? You just explain it to person, and then ask them how you felt.
Okay.
Or you can record those things, and once you just check your video, like after recording, you know, like, okay, this is the thing that I should not do, this is the thing that he didn't understand.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing you can do, but it's like a process more than just like a trainer is a job, it's a process. So sometime it will take some time, and you automatically understand this thing.
Yeah, ma'am. That's great to know.
Ma'am, you have trained 500 plus students. What's your teaching approach? And most of the companies, what they look in freshers, ma'am?
So to training the student, that everyone has their own style. Okay, so how you are teaching someone. So if you see in a YouTube, there are a lot of YouTubers are there. In our domain also, there are a lot of cloud DevOps engineers are there, very good, amazing engineers. They are doing the same thing. So someone will surely ask me like, why you are doing the same thing? It's not like that. It's my passion, that's why I'm doing. The first thing that you have to clear into your mind, because one time someone will surely tell you like, okay, there are the many YouTubers, 100k, 200k, and this kind of things are there, and they will tell you. So first thing, clear in your mind why you are doing, why. Then you are clear with this, and you are training those people na, and the response you are getting, you already know, okay, this is a good thing that you are doing, and they want like they want some more teaching, or from their feedback you are learning. So my teaching approach is like always, like we have our own teaching approaches, but my favorite approach is to giving the storytelling way. If you're a student, I will give you, of course, assignment and those kind of thing, lunch break, those kind of new examples. If you're a corporate person, then I will tell you like some Instagram reel for corporate life is not good and kind of a thing. That kind of stuff they wanted to hear. I'll tell you this kind of thing, okay, in a storytelling way. That's why someone, if they're learning something, they just know that story. Okay, she was like, Nancy is telling this story. So last time we had a one session in Microsoft regarding cloud and DevOps session. So I introduced one story of a Rudra, okay, and they loved it. I mean, they don't know DevOps, they were like first year student. I was just telling Rudra don't know how to code, Rudra don't know how to pitch a client, okay, Rudra don't know like what is DevOps. And that unique story that I was telling now, that was the main thing, that they have no idea about cloud and DevOps. But after that session, I was like so overwhelmed that everyone is knowing the cloud and DevOps. Everyone is just like connecting with me regarding the cloud and DevOps, and they were telling, okay, ma'am, I will also become the cloud and DevOps engineer. I just got an idea. Please guide me further. So that's what the main impact we were making.
It's amazing, ma'am.
Amazing and happy to see that all responses.
Thank you.
One more thing. As a data science students, ma'am, we are curious to explore MLOps, machine learning, and cloud in depth, ma'am. Could you please share how students can build strong fundamentals, eventually become experts in these domains, ma'am?
Okay, so like these domains are like computer science domains, first thing. So as I told, like in computer science you need 4 to 5 concepts
Yeah.
cleared, completely cleared in your mind. Even if someone will wake up you 3 a.m. and telling you you have to push this code, and you know, okay, git push. Okay, that's the thing. Someone is telling you, okay, TCP, what is the TCP, UDP, okay, what is the OSI layers.
Yeah.
Even if someone will tell you in like middle of your sleep, and you just need to give the answer, okay, this is the thing, very very clearly you can explain this thing. That kind of knowledge, not only knowledge, hands-on experience, and this thing you just need to make sure. So first is one programming language.
Yeah.
You start with a Python, Java, or like C++ or C for coding. Okay. Second thing is networking. This networking concepts are very essential. Third thing is operating system, Linux commands. Okay. And fourth thing is DBMS, database management.
Okay.
If these 4 things are clear, na, and inside the this programming language, you must know OOPS concept, OP, object oriented programming.
Yeah.
If you know this 4 thing, you can crack any interview.
Okay.
Initially as a fresher in campus placement. Okay. And other thing is SDLC life cycle in this core concepts, system design concepts.
Yeah.
Okay, software engineering concepts. These are the main thing. If you're good with this 5 thing, na, then I don't think you can not complete or not succeed in any domain. These 5 things are completed. Now you have a like one thing, one clarity, which domain you wanted to go. It's like a trial and error. So why this people are adding different subjects in different years. First year we are just doing the basics. Second year we are doing the data science. Third year machine learning. Okay, then MLOps kind of a thing. So you go with the data, then you must have a good mastery in a Python. Okay, Python modules, libraries, and then it's code. So you can go with the data, and then this data have a lot of CSV file. You have to do the processing and all this thing as a data science stuff. You just explore it. Okay, for one subject, do some project. At least you do, I can suggest 3 to 4 project, and now it's a day AI era, so I will suggest 5 project. You can't do with the 5 project, do the 2 project, mega project. That's it. If you do the 2 mega project, or even if you do the 3 small projects, very small project, and 2 other mega project, you will get understanding. You will get the clarity, data science is for me or not. That's it. Okay. Same for the machine learning. Machine learning, you need Python. So if you know the Python, you can go with the machine learning, you can go with the data science, and you can work any like domain you can go. So that also, that you need to train a model, you have to gathering the data, and then you can proceed with that. So machine learning, it's a kind of, you need some patience and understanding and depth knowledge of this like neural networks and all this stuff. If you are good with this algorithms kind of thing, na, go with the machine learning. So once you do this kind of project, that because machine learning was my passion, so in my college time, we had one hackathon. Okay. There we did one project, West Detector. So it's like Indian West Detector, just like it's just a robot, and we are implementing 10,000 plus images of Indian West, and then it will take those images, take those West, and then grab it, and then clean the entire thing. Okay. So it's almost 4 years. So 4 years back, there were no cloud, AI, machine learning, nothing was there. It was really amazing for me to going with this hackathon, and we did this thing. And after that, I had some interest in IoT. If you know IoT, okay, that IoT, Raspberry Pi, and those stuff. So what we did, so we implemented that project with that IoT. So it will capture machine learning model, will add that thing as a model, and then implement those things. So that also we did. So those kind of like two domains, because I have a knowledge of one domain and then another domain that I learned. So I just put everything together. That is the main thing. So right now in our area, everything is just like a puzzle. You just need to assemble it. Okay. So for our parents, it's like they have to build it and they have to assemble it. But for now, it's like totally we have a riddles and we have to just unsolve it. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
And one more question that I have seen is you have done multiple certifications. Yeah. How do you cope up with these all certifications, ma'am? Like the planning.
It's just like aggressive decision from a person that already fall apart. So what happened, because I was not able to course that certification, and to get a job, to get an internship, what they were asking, how many certifications you have? And this response I got from almost 40 to 50 companies and got rejected. So that time I got to know, okay, so money is not important. We have to do this certification and then we have to grab a job and then we can do more things. So that time I got an opportunity and I be the certified Azure DevOps AZ900 certification. Even I failed one time. It's like simplest certification because I don't have any guidance. I don't have resources. I don't know where to prepare. I prepare from the YouTube. I prepare from the Udemy, and then still I failed. So you know what is the missing after failing the exam? You're checking this question, you're checking this thing, your all concepts are clear, but still you are not able to crack that exam. And I was failed by just 7 marks. That means 700 was the passing marks, and I got like 193 or 4 around I got marks. Okay, and it's like just a one question, one or two question you have to complete and you qualified that exam. So that time I got to know, okay, this is the thing that we need to know. And there is one aggression, or you can say desire, that I will do all the certification, that's it. Then no one can tell me like, okay, in this job you are not qualified. So not only like I did for certification in OneCloud. So I started with the OneCloud Azure, in the Azure Solution Architect, DevOps Expert. So this thing I completed. Then Administrator 104 exam, that one also completed. Then I switched to database. I given the Azure Database Administrator exam. Then also like I thought like, okay, let's explore some data science thing. So then given some data science certification, that one also did. Then explore some another thing, AI exam. So there's a AI 102 exam, that one already explored. So after this many thing, still I facing like, okay, I only know Azure. Then I switched my cloud platform to AWS, and then I'm doing those things. So then I got to know, if you know this thing, definitely someone is doing it or someone is not doing it, someone is learning it or not learning it. Sometime you will get that opportunity that no one will able to get it, surely.
Yeah, ma'am.
That's how.
Yeah, ma'am. One more question is, what we are listening from the social media from other persons is that certifications are mandatory to recruit the people. Is it that so, ma'am?
Yeah. You can check my example. I just told you. It's a mandatory, but see, there are two scenarios. It's mandatory to qualify the first phase. So if 100 people are qualifying for same thing, and then they were checking, okay, which one has the certification, then 10 people have the certification among the 100. So 10 people they will take, another they will leave, and then the 10 people, now phase number 2. So 10 people, out of 10, 5 people having the, like you can say, fraud certification kind of a thing. They're just taking the certification by use of their mind and money somehow. So that 5 people will not cross the phase number 2, when they're actually, if you are a DevOps expert or if you are certified in Azure Administrator, then they will ask you this question, and if you're not able to answer them, then surely you how you crack that certification, that kind of a thing. And after that 5 member, they will actually got the right candidate. So this is the thing. So yeah, I can say certifications are mandatory if you are a fresher, if you are a starting. okay,
Yeah.
in a cloud or DevOps.
Okay.
But somehow there are exceptions everywhere. So
Yeah.
there are people without any certifications also, they got into the Amazon, Google, these many companies. So there are exceptions.
Yeah, ma'am. And one more thing is, in certifications only, the some example I'm telling, ma'am. For example, I have done in some company which is not recognized and company which is recognized. So I'm thought and listen from the other people is the people are taking from the reputed company, the people who has certified in there. So is it that so, ma'am? Knowledge is good, right, ma'am?
So knowledge is good, but they will not recognize it, honestly. Knowledge is good, but they will not, until and unless you take the certification from recognized like companies, if you're Microsoft certified or AWS certified,
Yeah.
NVIDIA certified, that is more useful rather than any other certification, because any people can start their company and then giving the certification that I have company. No one know this company even, man. And how you can say?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
It was very useful section, and we are very happy to interact with you and talking and knowing the things what we don't know. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Nice to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.